let's go with a circle today. We'll start with just a simple circle. Hey Kim, hey Amanda, thanks for joining. Are you drawing a mandala with me today or just watching along? Okay, so let's just start with a circle, and I want to make some, let's just make some petals. Some kind of, medium to larger size petals going around. Really right now we're just kind of making our grade school daisy. I think it was a mosquito on me. I'm not very happy about that. I do not like mosquito season. Anyway, okay, so trying to refocus here and paying attention to our lines. Remember our start and our stop points, and we'll be turning our paper, and just a quick reminder of those things. Now, what I want to do next is let's do another layer of petals. And I'm going to just make the petals go around randomly. So I'm not going to do it from top to top. I'm just going to kind of make them wherever they land. Because I want to kind of do like a big flower bloom today, using a couple different styles of petals. So why don't let's go ahead and do one more layer of this petal shape. And again, just kind of drawing it wherever they fall, whatever size they come out. We're sort of embracing the very natural, organic feeling of an actual flower bloom. And a flower, not all of the petals are the same shape or size. So we're going to kind of capture that. And again, remember to focus on your lines, your start and stop points. And for those of you who are new, the start and stop points, I'll just go over that in a second, so that you know what I'm talking about. And then turning the paper obviously is pretty obvious, but for the reasons of to kind of save your wrist. Doing a lot of this movement when you make mandalas really can put strain on these tendons here. And also it just usually ends up making your lines and your shapes look better because you're not sort of, contorting and trying to do shapes in weird positions. So at this point, let's go ahead and switch up our petal shape. So we'll kind of just sort of migrate to a different petal. Let's go ahead and do my chubby triangle shape, shall we? So talking about the start and stop points. Start and stop, and this is just really so that we can stay very mindful of our lines, so that we don't get in a rush and just kind of, hurry through the lines. We're really keeping our mind focused on the task, really thinking about the feeling of the pen on the paper and how that feels, watching the pigment come out onto the paper. All that just really helps keep this like a very mindful and meditative experience. So when we start, and I'm going to do the chubby triangle shape, we'll put our pen down to start, and so we have a stop point, and we draw, and we stop. Start, draw, stop. So instead of just going and being in a big rush, this will really help us keep very mindful. And you don't have to say those words out loud, and you don't have to necessarily go in slow motion, just as long as you're very deliberate in the shapes that you're making. So we have start, draw, stop, start, draw, stop. And then we'll just continue around with that. And as you saw in that last one, I didn't actually lift my pen. So we can kind of do a pause. Hey, Katie, thanks for joining. So we start, draw, pause or stop, and then draw, stop. So that's just kind of a way you don't have to lift your pen after every motion on these kind of shapes. Really the whole point of that is just so we stay, very thoughtful and focused on the lines that we're making. So it becomes very mindful. All right, hey Steph, how are you? Okay, so let's go ahead and let's put another layer of this shape, the chubby triangle shape, and let's just go in somewhere in between the two that we already have. So just kind of, bringing that up and putting them down in there. And it doesn't have to be in the same spot every time. You can kind of make them offset a little bit. Again, hey Anne-Marie, how are you? So I'm sorry, I think I missed somebody's comment. If I did, I'm sorry, I'll look back. It's hard for me to see the screen from drawing here. Emery, yes, these pens, these Pigma Microns are great. It's a little bit hard when I'm drawing because I have to go at an angle, and they're really great for when you draw more straight up and down, but they make beautiful lines. Okay, so again, we're just kind of, going with the sort of randomness or the organic feeling of a big flower bloom. So we're not trying to be perfect at all. In fact, we're trying to not be perfect, because flowers are perfectly imperfect, right? Stephanie, oh yay, you finally get to watch. Awesome. Katie, you said you're leaving. Oh good, Katie, I'm glad. Are you drawing along, or who's drawing along with me? Put in the comments. I would love to know if you're actually drawing or if you're just watching today. I know a lot of times it's hard to actually, get the stuff together and the time to draw along with me. But remember, I always save these so that on my, in a folder in my photos here on Facebook, and also I put them up in my YouTube channel in a playlist called DAMM videos. And I'll try to remember to put my my YouTube link in the post, but it's Deb Sormenio Art is my my YouTube channel. Okay, let's see, let's do one more layer of this shape. Another one of these. Just watching stuff, that's okay. Have you done a mandala at all yet? Katie, not drawing, just sitting with my son, just watching. Oh, nice. Is your son watching too, or is he distracted with something else? So see, in doing these, I like actually doing these kind of mandalas a lot. You're just using a couple shapes. Sometimes I only do it with one shape for the entire thing. And it just really makes it look like this gigantic flower bloom, and I really love them. All right, remembering our start and stop points. Keeping very mindful and focused, turning our paper. All right, Katie, he's distracted. Oh, he's only 1.5, okay. Yeah, not really into the watching mandala videos, right? Stephanie, you tried, oh no, Stephanie, why did you get frustrated? Tell me what issues you were having, I can help. It should definitely not be a frustrating thing. Sometimes we try to be too perfect and be too analytical of our lines and what we see as mistakes. I think that's the biggest issue people have when you get frustrated. But tell me what made you frustrated, and I will definitely try to help you. And also, if you have a time that would be easier for you to actually draw along with me, let me know, and I'll try to do one at that time, because I know you're, on Pacific time, so it's a kind of a different schedule. Let's see. Okay, let's switch it up and let's go ahead and do now my Hershey's Kiss shape. And for those of you who don't know what that is, It's just, I call it that because to me it looks like a Hershey's Kiss. So it's just kind of like a curved line going up and then another going up the other side. And these shapes take practice for sure. There'll always be like one side that's kind of wonky or wobbly or crooked. There'll be, you know, one side that's flatter than the other or off center or something, and that is okay. Because again, we are not trying to be perfect. We're not trying to make high art. We are just doing this to have a nice, mindful, sort of alternative meditation experience. Stephanie, I felt my petals weren't uniform. And like, see, perfectionist. That Hershey's Kiss is what got me. I know they're hard. I know they are. And that's why I really, really, really want you to like not try to make them perfect. Don't even worry about them being wonky. And I mean, and do not compare yourself to mine. I have made, like I said, like literally, you know, hundreds and hundreds of mandalas. So I have that muscle memory. And if you do them, you know, the more you do them, the more you'll get used to that too. And get that muscle memory in. And also if you just wanted to do a row of this shape. So say if you, and just like a little side here, say if you have even on lined paper, you can just kind of practice, you know, doing, see, that is not even straight. Mine usually come out very wonky. And so just practice, you know, this is a good doodle to practice when you're on the phone or something. Just make a whole bunch of them and your fingers will get more and more used to making those shapes and it will be easier. It runs in the family, huh? Perfectionism, is that what you're talking about? I think so. I still yell at my mother for always making me color in the lines. I'm like, no, don't color in the lines. Color outside of the lines. Make your own lines. Forget the lines. There's only a guideline. It's not meant for you to follow it exactly. Okay, so let's do, all right, let's do a little bit of filler now, okay? So first of all, since we have a big flower bloom here, I want to make our outside shapes into leaves. So I'm sure, you know, some of you will remember how I do this, but I start by making like a center vein in the middle. And so I still have my start point, but instead of a definite stop point, I do a lift. So you start, you draw your line, and at the last second you lift. And you don't have to do that, you can do a start stop, but I like the little kind of tapered end that produces. And like with a ballpoint or something like that, it won't do that as much. But with felt tips and things, it will really get that effect, and it just makes it look much more organic. Okay, so then let's start and do the same thing. We'll start at the center line and make our little outside veins that come up. So start, draw, lift, start, lift. Same thing, start, lift, start, draw, lift, and lift, and lift, and lift. So then you can see that really gets that very, you know, tapered end. It makes it look really organic and natural. And I'll just do a couple of these and then move on so I have more time to show you other things. Okay, remember our start, draw, lift, and lift, and lift. And I'm just, you know, talking about actually thinking about that lift so that, again, you still stay very mindful of the lines that you're drawing and we don't get in a rush. And you know, when we do that, we just start to, our mind starts to wander, we start to get impatient, we start to lose focus on the task that we are doing, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose of these. Okay, so let's start. go. So that's nice. So see how that's pretty? It looks like, you know, definitely leaves going on the outside of our bloom. Stephanie, you're going to practice this weekend and your downtime at work. Oh, good. That's a perfect time. Just like take a notebook. I mean, it can just be lined paper. And just to practice those shapes over and over and over. And you'll just get that muscle memory. Okay, let's see. Let's take... let's see, what should we do? I'm going to go ahead and in the inside, I am going to make a little dot right in the center, and then I'm going to kind of just make some little lines going out, kind of like maybe stamen or something of a flower. So just again with that start and lift, and just take that all the way around. So we kind of have this just coming out just randomly around our center circle here. There we go. And actually, to make it even more look like a stamen thing, we can put like a little dot at the tip of these lines. And that just kind of really makes it look like little stamen inside of a flower. And then let's go ahead and on these secondary petals, let's put some little kind of fold lines. So just 3 or 4, whatever will fit inside your petal. Again, doing the, you know, the start and lift line. And then that will just kind of make it look like, you know, how petals kind of fold as they go out. Hey Laura, thanks for joining. Let's see. And then what shall we do next? I think that let's put some sort of petals inside of our petals, just to give it a little bit extra flowery feel. So I'm going to, inside of these, you know, these outside, the larger sort of chubby triangles, I'm going to first put like a little semicircle. And you can do that all the way around. I won't, just for time's sake. And then inside of each one, like starting right in the middle of where this semicircle is, we're gonna make another kind of long petal to fill that space. And then go ahead and just bring those down. Just kind of filling that chubby triangle space. This is one of my favorite designs to do, is these sort of inner petals that fill a space. So we can go ahead and do that all the way around. And let's see, I have about 1 minute, so I need to finish up. There's, you know, so many different things that you can do for, you know, inside of these petals. You know, making double lines, you know, so you have kind of like a double petal. You can, you know, do, you know, other flowers or petals inside of each one. So if you want to, like, you know, kind of make a little petal, little flower petals inside, there's so many different things that you can do. So you can just use your imagination and fill in. You can repeat some of the ones that I've done, you know, in the rest of them. You can go back and look at my other videos to get other ideas. But yeah, we are finished. I hope you liked this one. And again, post your mandalas in the comments if you've made one. I'd love to see them. And share this video. I would love to reach as many people as possible and share these meditation mandalas with them. Again, I save these in my my YouTube channel and here on my Facebook profile if you want to go ahead and do them later. And yeah, that's it. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah. Bye-bye.